Yeah, we are the buzzers. Dramatic as always. We want to show you our do-it-yourself bee house. We started with this through mind mapping through trends we all thought were interesting, and ended up with rebooting with Mother Nature. How did we start? Well, we were wondering, what do bees have? What do bee houses have now? How easy is it to keep it? And we went with a target group that is motivated enough to already want this bee house. So we could add on the bee house. Well, bees, they don't hibernate in Holland. They either go to a warmer country, or they just die and have to find a new place to go. And we were like, well, what if we could make them hibernate in Holland? And how can we make the bee hives as easy to assemble and as easy to use for the people who want to keep bees? Whilst thinking about this, we were also like, hey, how can we make it smart? How can we make it easy? And so we combined the do-it-yourself and the hibernation to have like a temperature sensor within it. So you can make sure the bees are safe and healthy temperature-wise. Well, that is like the small description we have. We followed a simple storyboard, like how can I look this thing up, how can I find it, how do I make sure it's assembled really well, and how can I make sure the temperature and the ecosystem of the beehive is good for the bees themselves. Now Mira will talk about how we started from scratch and came up to this point.
Yes, thank you. Well, how we actually got started with, like in the afternoon you could see, we had lots of post-its. We tried to kind of group them together. We had many different ideas, and one that we actually kind of all got enthusiastic about was the one with bees. And that was the question, how and what are we going to do for the bees? We started thinking about the rooftop gardens. They are quite on the rise, as we also saw in the Rebooting Nature in the first week. And we thought about that, alright, how can professional beekeepers make sure that their bees stay safe and they don't have to rebuild the beehives again and again. And from there we started thinking, well, why do we just do it for the professional beekeepers? Why not for everyone? So everyone can contribute in saving the bees. So the first one is like a little DIY bee house that we started for, like, alright, you can just put it together, should be easy, should be simple. And the one next to it is the sensor, and that actually became like the combination of the sensor and the DIY bee house, just to put it all together. And we also made an experience, the bee cafe, but we kind of strayed away from that project because it was more of an experience rather than something that we could actually make a prototype from. It's still very viable, but for now we decided to kind of let it go. And as soon as we got these prototypes and our ideas ready, we started using the laser cutter. We did find some technical issues with the printer, that it wasn't picking up the outer lines, but eventually we found a way around that. And from there now we just started to make the beehives with the maker space to put them all together with a little bit of glue, and the sensors go in there. If my lovely teammate could present it, how the sensors will work.
Inside there's a sensor which measures the temperature. It should be at 21 degrees because that's the perfect heat for bees to survive in the winter. So we created kind of a Wizard of Oz method to present. So let's assume the temperature is too low, below 21 degrees. It will start beeping and shows across for the person to know, okay, the temperature is too low, so it should be higher. And let's assume it's high enough. If it will work. Facing some technical it works. So let's assume now it's above 21 degrees, which is perfect. It shows a heart, so the owner of the DIY kit knows the bees can hibernate, and it's all perfect.
course, we also made like a storyboard to kind of show how we're going to do it, that you can just order the DIY kit yourself, put it together, either buy a queen or put out some of the bait for bees, like the perfect flowers, so they were more likely to stay in the hive. And from there, it's just checking the temperature, making sure everything's alright. And we also made like a little instruction how to put the beehive together. And we also tested this, but my colleague will tell you more about this.
Yeah, firstly we were thinking like, how can we test on this project? Because our target group is bees, and bees don't really answer your questions. So we were like, how can we put a test around this prototype? And we were like, yeah, it's supposed to be a do-it-yourself kit, so it's supposed to be easy to assemble, easy to use. So we just invented an instruction manual and went to a couple of people and asked, how would you like your instructions to be for you? Well, this is just the boss of the beehive, and they were telling us about, yeah, we might want to experience the beehive itself in the instructions. We would like maybe some tips already, more of a 3D vibe, like they give you at IKEA, so you can see your step-by-step process turn into a real thing on paper itself. So that's what we use for now, and there is no further result for it, but we know where to go if you want to continue with this. So this is our do-it-yourself bee house, the hibernation.